McCain playing cards. Obama is the Joker in every deck. Read my lipstick. You go, Palin. Go, girl, go.
Tell us what's the matter with Obama.
Obama's got blue lips.
He's got blue lips.
I don't like his lips. Look at him. He looks stupid. That's what's wrong with him.
He's sketchy.
What does that mean? Sketchy.
You don't know what that means yet?
No, well, I mean, can you explain it to me?
I'm older.
Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. What does sketchy mean?
You can't trust him. How do we know? I want somebody that's going to be strong for this country. Somebody I can trust. Somebody's going to be strong. This is a strong country and we need a strong leader.
John
I don't
McCain,
need somebody that I can get up and say, oh, I want this and this. Who's going to vote for me? No.
Man, John McCain used to oppose torture. Now he supports torture. Should I trust him on anything else?
Somebody could drop him and there would be no witnesses.
You know, my motto...
Is that a threat, sir? Sir, is that a threat?
My motto's fiance is in Iraq. He's in the Marines.
You want to take off your sunglasses and make that threat on camera?
Wasn't a threat?
You said that someone could drop us and no one would ever know.
No, that's not what I said.
Yes, it is. I've got it on tape right here.
What do you say?
Let me tell you. Did you ask for permission to tape?
I don't have to ask for your permission. Yeah, the free speech zone is not over there in a cage. It's actually our country.
We are occupying Iraq because there was a clear and present danger in Iraq.
What was it?
Yes,
what was it?
What was it? Starting with the WMD. Saddam had them. The WMD that are currently in Syria and also dropped down in the Bekaa Valley.
Oh, they still exist?
Yes, they do exist.
And they're in Syria?
Absolutely.
And you've seen them?
In the Bekaa Valley in Lebanon.
Did you see them?
Did you?
Believe me, they are down in...
What, you want our opinion about Obama?
Yeah, what's your opinion about Obama?
I'm going to drop my pants and I'm going to show you.
I want to know about the magical weapons that still exist.
The magical weapons that still exist are sitting over there between Syria and the Bekaa Valley and Lebanon.
So hadn't we better bomb the hell out of Syria?
Do you remember back in 2000?
Don't we have a moral duty to bomb the hell out of Syria then?
Do you remember in 2000? Well, my personal opinion, yes.
We do?
Yes. There are plenty of reasons to do that.
Look,
occupying this country,
we're not occupying.
and we wanted them out.
They wanted. We're helping them, and we have helped them. We're not going to stay forever.
When are we going to leave?
We're not going to stay forever.
When are we going to leave? When's the job done? What happens when we say that's it?
Now we finish.
Well, it has to be a gradual. They're starting to take over. Their own police, their own military is starting to go on patrol. Our troops are on the base. They're on base. They're there if needed.
I heard that 5 years ago.
We have bases in Germany. We have bases everywhere. We have bases in Turkey.
I wouldn't think that global warming was caused in the last 8 years of the Bush administration either. I think that's probably something that has come along for thousands and thousands of years.
Are the weapons sitting there in Syria, in your imagination, a clear and present danger?
Why you're saying that they're in my imagination or what makes absolutely no difference. The fact of the matter is that they shipped them out during a time in 2002 when Saddam Hussein supposedly sent in some assistance to Syria in the form of truckloads upon truckloads upon truckloads.
So they got rid of the weapons in 2002, and we still had to go in 2003 and flatten their cities and occupy the place for the next 6 years?
Flatten their cities? What cities were flattened?
Baghdad.
Baghdad flattened? No.
Fallujah. Shock and awe. You haven't heard of shock and awe? He wasn't shocked or awed, I don't think.
The fact of the matter is we got Saddam Hussein out of there. He's gone. He's dead.
I think going into Iraq was a good idea.
I do.
You do?
Yes,
why is that?
Well, the problem is a lot of people focus on like CNN and NBC focus on all the bad things that are going on, but they ignore all the hospitals that have been set up. There's been over 700 schools that have been set up. There's a lot of good things that the media won't tell you about unless you're watching Fox News.
You think we're setting up democracy in Iraq?
I think so.
Are you aware that the Iraqi people, 80% want us to get out?
I don't have any more comments.
Have you been to Iraq? Have you been to Iraq?
No. Have you?
Yes.
What did you see there?
Good stuff going on.
Good stuff. Are you aware that 80%
yes,
of the
I'm
Iraq...
aware. No, not that.
You're not aware of that?
I was there. You weren't.
Are you aware that the Iraqi people want us to get out?
I don't like talking to you guys.
Okay, we didn't ask you to.
Okay.
That until we bring God back into the center of our lives and our country, you know, we're not going to solve these problems.
Pro-life is very important to me. Yes,
On the presidential ticket too?
Yes, it is.
Huh. Is starting wars pro-life?
Starting wars?
Yeah.
Starting wars?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
McCain favored going into Iraq. Was that a good pro-life position?
Pro-life position?
We killed over 1 million people over there. Massive, unnecessary slaughter. Blood, death, injury, trauma. 4 million people displaced from their homes. I sympathize with the idea of pro-life, right? Life is a good thing. But is that a pro-life
There are always
position?
going to be leaders in the world that are going to kill innocent people.
I know, but should we vote for them?
I believe, and I'm not talking about McCain, I'm talking about people, despots that are in control, that are killing innocent people. There are always going to be those in control. I believe that we go in and we help them set up a democracy. You know, United States has never gone into a country and taken their land. We go in there to try to help those people enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy here. We don't go in there and conquer their lands like they did in history.
Do you know how we got Texas and California?
You guys are ridiculous. I've got work to do.
Talking about holding people down and making them feel intense pain until they say things.
When those people want to kill my children, bring them to me and let me do it.
So God's for torture too.
You live in Alaska,
Yeah?
From Fairbanks.
What do you think about how Palin's doing up there? Polar bears going to survive
my honest opinion?
Yeah.
I don't think she has the experience. She's the mayor of a town. That's like, where the town she's mayor of, it's like being the general manager at a Starbucks. It's just, she hadn't been governor long enough. I mean, I had the same problem with Bush, just not enough experience. I'm not saying I'm necessarily so much pro Obama, but and I'm a vet too, and I like that about McCain, but he's 72. That's pretty old.
So what's the button and the towel about?
Yeah, well, gotta make money somehow.
It's more of a national security thing because we need the oil for national security. We need the energy for national security, and right now our paramount issue is national security.
Like the Twin Towers. Okay. They invaded our country, killed hundreds of people.
The Iraqis did that?
Yes, came from the Middle East.
And when I look at them, I'm like, you're all a bunch of fascists in my mind, you know. I'll just be glad when Bush is gone, you know.
Yeah, a lot of people will. Maybe cut grass or something.
Yeah.
The fascist towels, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see it again.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, what country did most of them come from?
The Middle East.
No, that's not a country. What country did most of them come from?
Well, I think Afghanistan.
Well, Afghanistan.
If we were to get hit by a terrorist right now, with all the other problems that we've got, all right, look out, all right? That's going to be it.
So was it God's will that that terrorists fly planes into the Twin Towers then?
It probably was. It probably was for some reason.
Because the people who flew those planes thought so.
We don't know what God's will is.
Well, the people who flew those planes thought that it was God's will to fly those planes into the Twin Towers.
We don't know what God allows, is going to allow and what He doesn't. But He allows things to happen.
But is everything that happens His will?
Purpose.
Yeah.
Everything that happens He does on purpose.
And we'll know one day. We'll know one day. We don't know right now, but we'll know one day.
So if Obama is elected, it was God's purpose.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Huh.
It's God's will for it to happen.
And if we go over there and kill more people and more of our young men and women get killed, and it just makes people over there hate us more, is that God's will too?
Yeah, I guess so, because you know what? You go on the streets around this United States, how many people are dying? How many people are getting killed? I mean, you know, it happens everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's God allowed it to happen for some reason.
But it doesn't happen on the same scale as when we bomb a city flat, like we did to Baghdad.
You are on this Middle East thing with us.
You know, but God says you protect your country, and that's what this war is. It's protecting our country, and it's keeping it off of our home front.
So they attacked us, so we go attack them.
Well, it's not just so much as that. It's so much as just protecting our homeland here.
That's
the biggest part.
That's what we're doing over in Iraq.
I'd say so.
Yeah. We just talked to a guy back in the line who's about to head over there.
Oh, really?
In the Army. Are you thinking of doing that too?
No, I couldn't do it.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
So
prime age.
That's right.
So you think we should do that, but you don't want to do it?
Right. There's other people who are brave enough.
Do you think that's fair, though? To ask other people that are called over there?
I think there's people that are called to be a soldier. There's people that's called to ministry, called to a pastor. There's people that's called to different things. It's not my calling to be, you know, in the Army.
But it's weird because nobody in that upper class we were talking about seems to be called to the military.
Well, you know, it's whatever you're called to. That's enough.
Jim, hey, you work at Trader Joe's?
I do.
Does Trader Joe's support McCain?
Trader Joe's doesn't support any policies, politics, whatever.
Oil, we would have more than enough oil to support our own to be self-sufficient within 10 years. So that's
No, you don't get your own facts. You can have your own opinions. Where are you getting that from?
I got my facts from Sean Hannity.
You can't put this up. I don't want to see this up, man.
Say again?
I don't want to see this up.
Why don't you want to see that up?
I wore it because it's the only red shirt I own.
Who started the war?
The Iraqis.
The Iraqis started the war?
We already got all these people. We already have Al-Qaeda did it. And Obama, we took the war away from this. The Bible also says that God will, all liars will have their part in the lake of fire. So
Are you calling me a liar?
But
if you've told a lie, you're a liar.
So everybody here in this line is a liar.
If they've told a lie, yes.
They have.
So
sometimes you got to kill someone to
like
be a murderer. One time, right?
Actually, ma'am. So if you say, for example, Iraq has connections to Al-Qaeda and they're stocking up all these weapons of mass destruction.
No, we're talking about lies. We are talking about lies. You brought up lies.
It leads to a war that results in over 1 million deaths.
This is a red herring. That's what we call this.
It's not a red herring at all. You brought up lies, ma'am.
If a human being tells a lie, he burns in fire.
Then we're not going to talk.
I'm learning. If a human being tells a lie, then he burns in fire. Is that correct?
Listen, if you've told a lie, God will judge you. It doesn't. Yes. We're not talking about other people.
But I'm asking you if God gives immunity to presidents.
I started talking about.
If you're president, do you get to lie and not burn in the lake of fire?
You look around and you can see some every now and then who fall for the Obama lines every now and then.
What kind of lines?
You know, the lower taxes. I mean, if you really look into it, you know, all the college students are going to fall for that. You know, there's some of them who.
So you think he's going to raise taxes?
Oh, I think it's undoubtedly he will. I think, you know, what he says is he's not going to, but if you raise taxes on the upper class, then all it does is trickle down to the lower class.
Didn't you just lie when you said you didn't want me to take that tape you with that shirt on? I mean,
Yes. Most liberal candidate ever.
He's the most liberal.
DC mess. Yeah, he's more liberal than Franklin Roosevelt.
Yes.
He's more liberal. He is. Wow.
Whoa, he's really lying, isn't he?
Yeah.
No. No, ma'am. What's liberal about him? I mean, is that just sort of a style he dresses wrong, or are there policy positions that are liberal?
Facts. Stands directly at odds with what I would prefer in a candidate.
Such as?
Well, I think that he's been drinking the socialist Kool-Aid a little too long.
Well, if you had to name one policy position where he takes a socialist position, could you?
Every single vote he's made in Congress.
Could you name one? Is this like a Sarah Palin interview? Could you name one specific position?
Oh, a Sarah Palin interview? No.
Abortion rights.
Abortion rights.
Abortion rights, yeah. It's the best chance we've had in a while of having the abortion rights overturned.
No, Obama, well, his views on healthcare, I think, are a little bit off with what I would prefer. He stands for tax increases, I stand for tax decreases.
So when he says he wants to cut your taxes, he's lying. Is that your position?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at when the 2010 tax cuts will expire, he's going to add tax increases on top of those tax increases. So in effect, America will be poorer, although the government will be richer. But
even though he says he won't, he's lying.
Well, he says he won't because of what new tax increases he would prefer to impose. But if you look at that in combination with the Democrats in Congress who currently do have control, it will not be good for America in the long run because they're going to let the 2010.
Well, he'll have the veto power just like the other guy would have the veto power, right?
Will he exercise it? I don't believe so.
Oh, shut up!
Hey, just don't say Obama in an airport.
And why act like you care about the troops in Iraq? Cause if you did, you would let them fly back. It's cause of you them planes got hijacked. You also the reason Katrina victims had to die like that. They say you was hesitant, we say you was negligent. It's about time for niggas to impeach the president. Hey. Yeah. Dear presidents.